Hi guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. In this episode, we'll descend the clock tower with Grant, and finally get our first look at the Mad Forest. Now Grant's got a completely different control scheme from Trevor, and really from any other character in the game, so it's worth explaining. You can see me trying to get used to the controls here, fumbling around. It's kinda awkward. Now Grant is faster than Trevor, he jumps higher, and he can even control his mid-air velocity. This is how you know that the Castlevania developers didn't withhold this ability from Trevor because they didn't know how to program it or something. No, they did it intentionally. It's a handicap that makes Trevor harder to control. Unlike Trevor, Grant can also climb around on walls, although it's a little awkward. You have to continually press in the direction of the wall in order to hang on, so it's easy to fall off. Still, it's a pretty useful power, and a lot of the secrets in the game require Grant in order to reach them. Grant is also shorter, which actually means he has a smaller hitbox. This means there are a lot of enemies, such as the dragon skull cannons, where you can just duck as Grant and all the projectiles go right over your head. Now normally if you were Trevor, and even if you were ducking, you get hit by those projectiles, but for Grant, they just sail right over his head. So you might start to think, well geez, why would I even keep playing as Trevor now that I've got Grant? He basically breaks the game. Well, apparently they thought the same thing over at Konami, because when they ported this game over to the US, they severely handicapped Grant. So, in the Japanese version, his main weapon is this knife, which is not only faster than Trevor's whip, but it's also thrown, just like the knife sub-weapon. Now, normally I don't have a lot of nice things to say about the knife sub-weapon, I don't think it's that useful, but when it's got unlimited ammo, yeah, it's a pretty good main weapon. On top of that, Grant can also use the axe as a sub-weapon, so basically, his attacks all in all are pretty awesome. But in this version, he just kind of stabs this little ice pick, and it doesn't have very much range. Obviously the knives aren't thrown anymore. So my guess is that they did that because they figured that Grant made the game too easy. That's just my guess. You also notice I'm descending this level pretty fast because I'm able to jump through the stairs, although I'm taking some damage from the Medusa heads. That's another thing worth mentioning. So you'll notice I'm getting my ass handed to me a lot in this video. The reason for that is that I want this to be a more or less honest LP. I've seen some LPs where the hero just seems to effortlessly evade danger throughout the entire game, but you know that they're just using save states to do that. So here I'm trying to give an accurate representation of what it's like to play this game. You're not going to come through unscathed. Because in all honesty, Castlevania 3 is a really hard game. I'm not going to lie to you, this game will frustrate the crap out of you. Some of these levels you have to play over and over again in order to beat. I mean, even in an easy level, sometimes it's just one hit that knocks you off a ledge, and then it's back to the continue screen. And right here, there's a really cheap glitch where if you don't climb on the wall as Grant there, then you fall right through it because he hits his head on the ceiling. Really, really lame. But you know, even though it's so hard, I find it to be a really satisfying game. Most of the time between the save points is really short, so you have a lot of opportunities to really perfect a small section of the game to try to get it right. So, it can be really satisfying when you play a level over and over and over again, and then finally at the end you manage to get the sequence just right. So we've managed to evade the clock tower. Now here we are going into the Mad Forest. You can see I switch over to Trevor in a hurry, because really I'm just tired of Grant's controls and his puny little weapon. This section, though, is a real pain in the ass. I'm about to seriously get my ass handed to me by these owls here. I know I probably shouldn't be projecting what's going to happen to me, I should save the surprise, but there it is. These owls are going to destroy me. So basically what you want to do here is you want to ditch that holy water, if you still have it, because it's not doing you any favors anymore. The boomerang is going to be a lot more helpful here. You basically just throw it at the level that the owls are at, and hope that it hits them right. Most of the flying enemies in this game are really a pain in the ass. And it's all because of the way that Trevor jumps and whips and has that delay, and the way that they swoop down in a downward arc. That combination just makes it really, really difficult to hit them unless you know their patterns exactly. And for me, I didn't really remember what the owls did in this level, so yeah, it's pretty pathetic showing there. By the way, I really love the music in this level. And also the backgrounds. Just everything is so detailed and lush, it's really, really beautiful to look at, beautiful to listen to. I think that's one of the saving graces of the Castlevania series, is that even though you end up playing these levels over and over again, and it can be really, really frustrating, you know, the music is just always top-notch, and I mean, look at that background, that's I don't even know what that's supposed to be, but it's just gorgeous to look at. And in fact, this music is so good, I'm even going to shut up for a while just because I want you to listen to it, because this is great. So here we come to another crossroads, and in this case we've got a choice between going up into the graveyard to meet Sypha, or down into the murky swamp in order to meet Alucard. I'm gonna go up, and I'm gonna justify that decision in the next video, so I'll see you guys then!